Hi, everybody, and welcome to this great session with Transamerica. We're going to be talking about content consolidation and collaboration using a true hybrid CMS. My name is Ron Northcutt. I'm the Director of Developer Advocacy over at Acquia, and I'm lucky enough to be joined by Shauna. Shauna, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Shauna Landers. I'm the Senior Director of Digital Experience and Content Strategy, and we're responsible for all things public facing on digital sites at Transamerica.
Awesome. So, just to set a little background as we go into this, for folks who might not know, Transamerica is a financial services company based in the United States that offers life and supplemental health insurance, investments, retirement services, and a whole bunch of other financial packages. They've been around for over 100 years, and they've got a really proven track record for providing reliable services and advice to help people achieve financial security. Actually, really great because this is a combination of not only trying to find the way to get that information and keep it up to date, but also, as Sean is going to talk about, there are a lot of regulations that go around this and a lot of scrutiny, and so having a stable, reliable system is critical to that. But how about we just jump into it? Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Awesome. So let's kind of talk a little bit about kind of where you kind of came from with regards to where you were before. What inspired you to make this change and kind of reimagine Transamerica's digital properties?
Well, like so many organizations of our size, we had some legacy technology that was slowing down our digital transformation goals. And we had multiple CMS systems and one primary older system, which didn't meet our needs and was hosted on-prem. We needed an overall new CMS to help us bring to life new corporate websites, but also offer our internal partners the ability to share in what we were building for public-facing sites. We knew a more nimble and modern CMS and hosting environment could do that for us.
Nice, which makes a lot of sense. That's something that we hear a lot, that trying to transform and bring that in. And now, in this previous state, right, you talked about how you had multiple systems, you had some on-prem stuff, there were some challenges there. What was the impact this was having on the business?
Well, truly components and modules took too long to build and left our internal stakeholders with limitations in what we could offer to meet their needs. And our developers were more focused on maintenance and server support than developing what we needed. The development backlog was long, undesired components and features, and sometimes led teams to look elsewhere for their digital needs.
Which is always a big risk, especially when you're talking about compliance, right? And trying to bring everything
Right?
together.
Exactly.
So I've got some assumptions I'm making here, but what were some of these challenges that you guys saw from this?
Well, first, we really had to sell in the idea to management that we needed to change our CMS and our overall platform. We needed to promote one CMS, which wasn't an easy task with multiple development teams across the organization using different tools. And a new CMS would provide significant reduction in our technical debt and increase the speed in which new features and functions could be produced. But we had a short timeline that we wanted to achieve this. We wanted to completely overhaul transamerica.com and launch it on a new platform. Even with one of these, it's a daunting effort to take on in a short period of time. And we needed to do these in sync, but we did so in only 8 months from implementation to design to development to launch. So we were pretty proud of that.
That's impressive. And especially change management on top of trying to consolidate and launch multiple things at the same time. One of the reasons I'm pretty excited about this. And so, without going too much into that, I would really love to talk a little bit about kind of what you got out of this. You spent this 8 months. You put all of this work and effort and planning in. What do things look like today? What's kind of the current state?
Well, today we're fully functional with Drupal and enjoying the benefits that it has brought. We've already started enabling self-service by various teams, and we've created a template-like design options to spin up web pages and landing pages virtually within minutes. The ease of use of what we have now has allowed our UX design teams to focus on more complex solutions, and our developers can do what they do best, and that's writing code and building better tools and experiences for Transamerica customers. For our various IT partners in the organization, they can see how greater integration of Drupal into their post-login environments allows for leveraging components and content more effectively. And Acquia Cloud has now provided the secure infrastructure, uptime, and support that Transamerica needs to keep our Drupal sites and components running efficiently.
I mean, I've got to say, you guys have realized like almost the perfect encapsulation of the vision of what we try and help customers do, which is so exciting to see when folks are able to make that work out well. And how, now that you've got this new state, how has that kind of changed the organization and how things work internally?
Well, now we have the largest inventory of content components, tools, and apps that we've ever had. And we can
Nice.
create quick, effective website and campaign needs. The flexibility of our offering to our internal stakeholders has really been a game changer. Plus, now we have the create once and publish everywhere mindset, which includes pushing from the public-facing front-end site to the back-end custom applications where most of our users are. So integrating these two sides is core to our customer-centric experience.
Well, that's fantastic. And in terms of like those customers that you have, do you have any sense of kind of like any metrics or anything that kind of helps you validate the results you're seeing?
Yes, well, one of the most important things we saw right away was the new Drupal Acquia environment has seen page load improvements, which obviously ultimately affect how fast the site is rendered. But our page speed insights from desktop have jumped from a 36 to an 80, which significantly enhances our customer experience. We've also seen SEO impression growth increase by almost 30%, a percentage jump that has kept consistent since our cutover in June. And while we already did have a heavily optimized site, we know that the technical site performance has great impact on SEO, and we believe Drupal Acquia has much to do with that.
Wow, that's actually a really key point. I think a lot of folks miss out about especially when they're talking about SEO, right? You think it's about keywords and links and stuff, but Google and other search engines do look at that performance.
Yes, they do.
So having kind of gone through this, or are there any like lessons or kind of key points you'd want to share with the audience today on this?
Yes, happy to. The first thing I would stress is that Transamerica had no expertise with Drupal. So it was essential to find a partner that could not only help implement Drupal, but help us get started with a strong foundation for the future. And we found the right partner with Elevated Third, who specializes in Drupal development and is an Acquia preferred partner. And we felt it imperative to have a strong collaborative relationship with Elevated Third. So our very talented Transamerica Enterprise UX design team provided extensive requirements to Elevated Third on every component, and we brought to the table a rock-solid digital design system at Transamerica and a vision on how to use it. And then the daily interactions and strategy between the two groups, Elevated Third and Transamerica, allowed us for swift development and consistently met or exceeded our delivery dates. But then also Elevated Third helped us work with Acquia technical account management team. And that ensured our hosting environment was properly set up, and the TAM helped navigate many hurdles and decisions that needed to be made when working with a complex, secure financial services firm like Transamerica. So I guess my main point is to those that are thinking about switching is know what you want and fully outline your needs and extensive requirements. Know what hurdles you may face up front so you can address them in advance. And most of all, really find the right partner that are experts in their field to help you get going efficiently.
That is fantastic advice. I honestly couldn't even say it better myself. I do have a few more things I'd like to kind of dig into, but do you mind if we take a sec to look at some of the work that you guys produce? Because you've been talking about this component system, and I'd like to go through a few of these things real quick, but maybe you could just talk at a high level about like this component library you've built and some of the pieces that it provides for you.
Sure. This slide obviously doesn't cover everything that we were shooting for in components, but it's baseline things that we were looking for with whatever we were building and how we could expand our offering within Drupal. And so, as I said, I won't go through all those, but you can kind of get a high level of what we were shooting for.
Yeah, and this is actually one of those things that I think a lot of organizations sometimes don't necessarily understand up front is the importance of having that composable mindset, right? So like we can see here, we've got, this is a high level view of all the different pieces that your team had directed and had created and actually created yourself, designed so you could put the pieces together. And then if we can take a look at some of the results that you got. These are actual screenshots from the actual site where you guys have assembled these things. And I mean, it looks great. And I can see kind of that continuity in the theming and the component system, but I can also see how for these different pages, these different experiences, you actually are kind of crafting those pieces to give you what you need. Which is
exactly. Yeah,
great.
the flexibility of our components is just countless, basically, and these variations and options allow us to build any type of page design that we needed to. And I also wanted to stress that we really targeted on making every single component WCAG 2.1 accessible, and so that our site is fully accessible and meets those standards, which we're very happy about.
That's fantastic. So you had this great vision, you were coming over into this, and as we finish up, I'm kind of wondering, when you were looking at trying to kind of consolidate everything from these 7 different systems, what were some of the things you were looking for from a technology solution as well as from a partner perspective?
Sure, I'll answer that twofold because we weren't just looking at a CMS, we were looking at a hosting environment as well. So we worked with Gartner to assist us in narrowing down some finalists for CMS and hosting options. And the decision grid was complex, but some of the top things we did focus on was lower cost, flexible infrastructure, fast implementation timelines, unlimited scalability, secure hosting, and flexibility of each environment, allowing us to go traditional to fully decoupled within the solution we were looking for.
And that's that true kind of hybrid solution that we kind of put together. And, you know, as we've talked about, we saw those great slides. You've got this master design system and the ability to take a decoupled approach. And those are kind of really key elements for you. And how did those kind of fit into the way that you think about your customer experience?
Yeah, so our Transamerica design system in our backend application struck the balance between content agility and consistency to support content admins. So our Cardinal digital design system actually informed our Drupal componentry. We took great care around honoring our design system rules, colors, variations, responsive styling, etc., to turn those into robust Drupal components.
Nice. It's fantastic. So we've got about just a minute or so left, and you know you've done this great work. You've gotten to this place. You've got this amazing starting point. It sounds like you're moving even faster. But you know, what does the future hold for Transamerica? I mean, I know you've got a lot of vision. Where are you guys trying to go from here as you continue to evolve that customer experience?
We are continuing to create more extensive and very manageable microsites, and we want to continue on the expansion of the decoupled or headless Drupal apps that can work within our various different channels in the organization. Deeper Salesforce integrations, we're shooting for personalization next year, and perhaps more importantly to me is the global expansion with our parent company in Europe. And they're also moving to Drupal Acquia, and now we're going to be able to share components and our Drupal library across the world.
Oh, wow, that is so awesome. You know, having that design system, building out that composable platform that's supporting all of that evolution and growth is so fantastic. Shauna, thank you so much for your time today. I'm super excited about what y'all have done and the example you're setting and implementing this. And thanks again for taking the time to share that with us. It's always so lovely to hear kind of how things are going and share that inspiration. So thanks again.
Happy to be here. Thank you, Ron.